To do the interview today.
No problem.
Well, mate, we are so excited about you guys being able to head down to Australia. I was wondering if you could start off by telling us a little bit about how this tour has come about and how you feel about heading back to Australia.
Well, we, have told our manager and stuff that we wanted to make sure we didn't wait 2 fucking years between the album coming out and, go and hitting Australia and Japan, places like that. We wanted to come out. I don't know what it's been, man. It's the evolution of this band has just seen us like international stuff has been few and far between compared to how much we do the States, and we've been trying to change that and just get out as many places as possible. And one good place for us is Australia, and it's just been weird that it's been it's such a challenge to get out there and make something happen and make it worthwhile for everybody. And it's not the easiest place to secure tours, and so we, it took us forever to fucking finally get coming there. And then when we start coming there, it's fucking 2 years after the record comes out. So I'm like, you know what? We need to hit this place at least twice or something, on this next record, and really start getting out there and doing world tours instead of just it being so spotty, So we got a ton of shit just coming up.
How difficult is it to secure?
We're very happy to come back. We're very excited to come back. Very, very saddened by what we've seen happening over there. So we're looking forward to coming over and hopefully maybe helping take people's minds off of it for a minute,
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you a little bit about that later on, because the other night I was in my car listening to you guys, listening to One Day Closer to the End of the World as our city was choking in smoke and the sunset was bright red because of the fires near Melbourne. How do you feel about coming to our country when this kind of stuff is happening? Like it's almost like your album was like a prophecy for what has ended up happening in Australia this summer.
Yeah, it was. I mean, obviously we don't have the foresight for such a thing.
Yeah.
So it was embarrassing almost to know that we were going to be coming over there after having put out such a record. But with that in mind, we decided to that we couldn't just come over there without helping in some way. So we've organized a few revenue streams, a few like charity streams to donate to this sanctuary that got just destroyed, named Cobargo Wildlife Sanctuary. And a friend of ours, Ashley Apsey, she's on that show Housos and Fat Pizza.
Yep.
She helped me. She's a big animal rights activist, and she helped me find a good, solid organization that desperately needs help, because I just didn't want to just blindly throw money to some large organization to line some dude's pockets. You know what I mean? Cause, I believe in working locally and on smaller levels, and people, pitching in instead of doing it on a macro level. That can be fine too, but that's just how I'd rather roll. So we'll be adding. This stuff's all going to be announced soon. We haven't announced it yet, but it's coming. We're doing a T-shirt where all the proceeds all the profits go to Cobargo Wildlife Sanctuary, and we'll be also adding VIP ticket upgrades where people can come in and watch us do sound check, and we're going to hang out with everybody afterwards for like a meet and greet kind of thing. We never do that shit. We're a little more old school DIY. I don't know.
Yeah.
Punk rock. I don't know. So that's a new thing for us, but we've had a lot of people ask us if we ever do VIP shit. So I'm like, hey, that's one way we can try to help raise money. Let's do this and hang out with people, and it all goes. 100% of it goes to the sanctuary. We don't want to see a dime. So just whatever. It's something, but the whole thing is just really fucking sad. And dude. But these are, like the record talks about, these really do seem like the end times.
Oh yeah. But Have you actually seen the footage from Cabargo Zoo on the day that the fire hit? Because some of those images I think are going to stay with me for a long time, like the images, of course, of the giraffes like just walking in a paddock with fires in the background, and the fact that they didn't lose any animals is just absolutely amazing. Have you seen that footage?
The footage you're talking about, not necessarily. Honestly, I have been fucking slammed since we got home from tour. It has been a day in, day out, nonstop fucking email fest, and just trying to still do home life at the same time is very fucking challenging right now for this band because we just have so fucking much going on. It's insane.
Yeah.
I have heard no new music. I haven't been keeping abreast on a lot of shit. We've just been so fucking slammed. But, we looked into these guys and it was very, very sad. This, husband and wife team that does this out of the, kindness of their hearts for, trying to help Australia's incredibly diverse wildlife. And it's just fucking sad.
Yeah, yeah.
Sad.
You mentioned before about how hard it is to organise tours to Australia. I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about that, because working in the music industry, I know how hard it is, but at the same time I hear fans always talking and complaining and saying, this band doesn't care about us, they haven't been here for 5 years and stuff like that. Can you tell us a little bit about how hard it actually is to book a tour to Australia?
I mean, there's no money in it, you know what I mean? And, some people, there's bands, believe it or not, there's fucking metal bands, the death metal bands that are trying to, make this happen. I mean, one of the only reasons we can go and tour around the world is because we're able to make the ends meet. We live in the west coast of the United States, in California and Seattle, Washington. These are two of the most expensive markets in the United States, and I grew up here. I was born and raised. I don't want to leave, just because I can't fucking afford it anymore. So it's tough. You guys, you're an island that's fucking on the other side of the world from say us and Europe, the United States, Europe being two of the main countries or places in the world where bands that happen to have a high concentration of bands, and it's just very challenging for everyone involved. I'm preaching to the choir here.
Yeah.
You have to pay crazy amounts for shipping on every record you order or whatever. You know what I mean? You guys get it. Everything there to us is very expensive. But,
yep.
That's just part of the gig, unfortunately. But it's never. And another thing people need to understand is it's not the band's fault. It's never the band's fault. It's going to be whoever that books them, or if they're relevant. Sure, 10, 15 people might want to see band X, but if a promoter can't make money off of it, band X can't come. Or if there's luckily especially in the world of extreme metal, there's people that are willing to just break even or lose money even, just for the sake of helping the scene. So that's why you see a lot of bands that for some reason do end up going there, but they don't really tend to go anywhere else, and there's not really too many people talking about it. It's a big rabbit hole.
Exactly. Yeah. So we mentioned before Death Atlas and what an amazing album it was. How have those tracks been going live? Because it is one of those albums that you sit down and listen to and think this is going to sound amazing live. How have you guys found playing those tracks live?
For me, it's fucking challenging as fuck. I kind of painted myself into a corner with these melodic vocals. Because it's hard to do something with any kind, trying to hit any kind of notes when you're doing 5 other fucking extreme styles, So it's pretty crazy, but it's fun. It's a lot more fun for us. It's challenging. We like to be challenged, and luckily for us, I mean, almost every show we played since we started releasing these songs, there's people up front that know the fucking lyrics, and that blows our minds. So, and the record wasn't even out yet. There was people that knew up front singing along. So, it's been fucking awesome. And, we're playing a couple of the tracks that are very, somber and epic and expansive and big and depressing but intense at the same time, and it's people are really digging it. My favorite thing is to look out and see, big brutal looking dudes, big muscle dudes practically on the verge of tears. It's one of my favorite fucking things ever to see. It's just fucking cool.
Yeah. You mentioned vocally that there's so much going on this album. How did you face that challenge live? Because it almost seems impossible. How did you actually face that?
Well, I mean, I'm never gonna do vocal backing tracks. And I think, I'm not sure people understand how many bands actually do that. I think it's fucking stupid. As far as vocals go, at least, I think it's crazy. But there's a lot of bands that do that. I'll never do that. So you're gonna get what you're gonna get. It's where I come from, more of a punk rock approach at writing, recording, and playing music. My vocals have always, the entire time I've toured, the whole 18 years or whatever it's been, my vocals have always been different live than they are in the studio. In the studio, the sky's the limit. You can do all sorts of shit. And you're making a historical document. Live, I've never understood the point of going to see a show and have it be the exact same thing that I just heard on the CD. I like the little nuances and the little imperfections and shit like that, the intensity. Like, we're not gonna. It's sort of a different beast live, and it's I don't know. It's just how it's always been, and I don't really care what people think of that. I think people have conditioned themselves to think that, everything's got to be perfect, to the point where motherfuckers are using backing tracks. That's just crazy to me. Like, dude, play your bass, play your guitar, sing the vocals. If you can't do it, it's just weird to have some track doing it for you. I know there's a lot of people who disagree with me, and that's fine. Whatever. I'm a loudmouth. What do you want?
Well, mate, I know we are running out of time very, very quickly. So is there anything you want to say to your Aussie fans out there before they go out and grab tickets for these shows?
People look out for this upgrade thing, and do what you can. We've got a t-shirt coming that's going to be available through Make Merchandise, and 100% of the profits go to Cobargo. So, thank you very much. We'll see you guys soon, and we'll just try to keep coming back as much as possible. It's just a very challenging place to get to, but we'll see you guys there.
Awesome. Well,